So this morning, right before my husband leaves, he hands me this. It's a giant binder with everything I need in case we have to be evacuated out of Korea. And it occurred to me that, one, I'm glad we're prepared, but two, you guys probably really don't know what it's like to be a military spouse, because this is the kind of stuff we deal with all the time. But first, if you like where this video is going, make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss any more of these great topics to help with your marketing for your business. So today is another Military Marketing Monday, and I want to tell you guys what it's like to be a military spouse. And while TV might lead you to believe that it's all beautiful homecomings and great photos and seeing your spouse uniform, which let's be honest, is pretty awesome, but it's actually really hard. I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what it is that we go through as military spouses. There are a lot of things you have to consider, like we're the default parent all the time. We're always number two to our spouse's job. Like they're married to the military and we just kind of get to be there. So because we're that default parent and our spouse is already gone, we're kind of responsible for everything, making sure that that house stays together, that the budget's on point, that our kids are happy, fed, and taken care of. And when our spouses are home, it's almost kind of like a luxury or a joy, because just when you start to get comfortable with them being there, they have to go and do some mission, do some training, go on the deployment for 6 months. So yeah, that's what we have to deal with all the time. We were basically guaranteed that our spouse is going to be gone for some significant amount of time, like 4 months, 6 months, maybe even a year, basically every 1 to 2 years. Some people's spouses deploy way more than that, where it's like 6 months on, 6 months off. I have no idea how they do that, but that's the reality of the situation. We move frequently. There's this interesting statistic that like 80% of Americans live within like 50 miles of their moms. Well, my mom is in Phoenix, Arizona, and I live in Pyeongtaek, Korea. So there's basically a whole world between the two of us. And that's what it's been like for the past like 4 or 5 years of my life. I grew up a military kid, and we were always on the move. We moved every 3 years, like clockwork. So moving all the time is basically what you have to deal with. And because we're moving all the time, we're basically always on our phones. These things are our lifelines. Without our phones, we would have no way to, one, know what's going on with our spouses who are off doing God knows what for, God and country. But we're also trying to stay connected to our family and our community. So many of us build our friendships and our relationships by being on our phones, and it allows us to know what's going on, what's happening across the world or in our current communities, staying apprised of what's happening with news, all kinds of stuff. You will never see a military spouse not within probably a couple feet of their phone. They're always having it charged. It's always right there. Some of the unfortunate things that happen is you have to give birth by yourself. I've had a lot of friends that have had to they get pregnant and their husbands leave and they have to have their babies while their husbands are across the world. Sometimes they're fortunate enough they get to Skype in and be there to support their spouse, but most of the time they just get to meet their baby for the first time when they're coming back home on that flight line. The thing that's hardest for being a military spouse, and this is the one that's hardest for me, is you're basically always preparing for your spouse to leave. You never know when the mission's going to call. We get our orders so far out in advance that we know that they're going to be leaving, and then there's this whole process of out processing where that's just basically counting down the days of them doing stuff every day to leave you. And then while they're gone, you get a rhythm, and it's hard, really hard, and you figure out how to get through it day to day. And just when you think you've got a handle on it, they come home, which is awesome, but it's also hard again, because now you have to figure out how to be a family with your spouse included. So we're basically living in this constant state of preparing for them to leave, being alone, or trying to figure out how to be a family again. So if you want to market to military spouses, I think that it's important for you to really understand the hardships that we're going through. And a lot of people have this mentality like, oh, you knew what you got into when you married a service member. And I think that that's baloney. There is no way anyone could ever be prepared to be away from their other half, the person that they love. And it's just, personally, I think that that's just really short-sighted. And the best thing that you could do as a business is show comfort, show compassion, show care, Thank them for their service too, at the very least. So the best advice I can give to you, if you want to market to other military families and specifically their spouses, is show care, show comfort, show support, and most importantly, just be there for them. That's the best thing that anyone can do for anyone while they're dealing with military struggles. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, and I have a little extra for you in the description below. If you want to learn more about how active duty service members and their families use social media to make buying decisions, please download the white paper in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you soon.